Test. Come on in. YouTube, Facebook. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by dopecontent.com and Get the Tables. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode. We are here to talk NFL Week 6, breaking it down. We got to do our power rankings, and if we got time to get into NCAA, we're going to get into some NCAA as a couple of big games happened over the weekend. But before we get started, I am joined once again by Tony from Get the Tables. Ladies and gentlemen, how's everything going? How you feeling? Hold on. Turn your mic back on. It muted you again.
There we go. Could have had a better weekend, but I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
Man, you know what? I don't think the intro is gonna play. I just thought about that. But it was cool, man. I took my boys to Pro Wrestling Revolver this weekend. That's Sammy Callahan's. That's his federation. That was my second time covering it and doing photos and stuff for him. And Sammy, man, just a nice guy. It still shocks me that he's so nice, because you see how he is on TV, but he's completely the opposite off screen. But this time I decided to take my boys with me. They had a blast.
That's awesome, dude.
The day started off warm, but it dropped. It dropped while we was out. So yeah, it got me off guard. So I've been dealing with sinuses, allergies, low-key a cold, but yeah, man, it's just it was a good weekend though. It was a good weekend. Sports wise, it was a good weekend.
Good weekend, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. So we're gonna see. We're gonna get into everything. I'm distracted right now because my phone is blowing up. I'm trying to see what's going on. Okay, so that's dark. Okay, so yeah. I had 3 people text me at the same time. It got me nervous a little bit, thinking something happened. But we all good. Let's get into the NFL Week 6. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about our games for our teams and etc. Power rankings, and y'all know how it is here. Let's see if the intro plays. I doubt it. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and just manually play it. And no, it didn't. So let's let's take a break and let this intro play, and we'll be right back. There we go. Now the intro has played. We are officially back here. That is the official intro. Y'all know how we do. We give you like a little preview, kind of like a 90s sitcom feel. You give you a little preview, and then you go into the whole, intro and the show. Don, what's good, man? Yeah, shout out to the Rangers. Shout out to the Cowboys. I don't think Speeds want to talk to me right now, but shout out to the teams, man. They doing their job. Yeah. I'm not even mad. Let me make sure we still live on YouTube, Facebook. So yeah, we on YouTube. Let me check Facebook real quick. Kev on YouTube said that's not a bounce back. That was a survival by the Cowboys. Well, we gonna get into that on YouTube. Let me make sure Facebook is. Wow. He said survival. That's what he called. I kind of got those vibes.
I hear you. Yeah,
I kind of got those vibes. Okay, yes, we are on Facebook. I didn't even have to search for it. It popped right up on my phone as soon as I opened it. Oh, yeah. So good. We are good to go. I'm kind of scrambling today, y'all, because I got home a little later from work than normal, and like I said, I ain't been feeling my best. But let's get into it. Let's get these scores for Week 6, and we're gonna break down a few games. It started off with the Chiefs taking out the Broncos 19-8. Ugly Thursday night game, man. Pat Mahomes 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kelsey 9 catches, 124 yards. The Chiefs are 5-1. Broncos are 1-5. Moving on, the Ravens in London. Ravens flock get a bounce back win. They win 24-16 over the Tennessee Titans. Ravens are 4-2. Titans are 2-4. Lamar Jackson 223 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Derrick Henry had 97 yards, only on 12 carries and 1 touchdown for Derrick Henry. They might want to get him the ball more.
Yeah. Absolutely. To get back to that Denver game, I'm finally starting to hear people start talking about Sean Payton,
as they should,
being a product of Drew Brees, as kind of what Bill Belichick is going through with the Pats, and being a product of Tom Brady. Now, I finally heard it on sports radio this morning. I was shocked because they've been giving Sean Payton. My volume is too low. Can you hear me now? I've been hearing a lot.
I got you up on my side. Turn it up some more.
A lot of people have been giving him a pass and been given pretty much the blame to Russell Wilson and Vance Joseph and stuff like that. And now finally, I actually heard someone on the radio, Dan Patrick, I listen to him a lot, say that when are we going to start hearing people start criticizing and using, Peyton being a product of Drew Brees, because everyone had the Broncos being this top tier team going into the NFL season, and they've definitely underperformed. So it was nice to finally hear that, because Sean Payton's been getting a pass, in my opinion, this season so far.
He's definitely been getting a pass. We are the ones that would call him out, so we the real ones over here that's calling people out. So shout out to the Dope Sports Podcast for calling out Sean Payton before everybody else wanted to jump on the bandwagon that we've been telling y'all about. So, but make sure Jay Cross, is he good now?
Maybe I was too far from the microphone. I'll get a little bit closer.
Okay, yeah. Just if anything happened, y'all just let us know. Because my headphones are different from the way y'all hearing it. So just let us know. Appreciate you watching on YouTube, Facebook, and everything. Jay Cross said better. Cool.
Okay, great.
Moving on. Washington moves to 3-3. They take out the Falcons, who are also 3-3 now. 24-16. Ritter is starting to get it together. Another 300-yard game, 2 touchdowns, but he did have 3 interceptions. Drake London, 9 catches, 125 yards. Washington gets the win. Second quarter was big for them. They put up 14 points in the second quarter and held Atlanta to 3. You got any thoughts on that game?
Now that like you said, Ritter's starting to perform a little bit better. He still has those turnovers, man. He still keeps throwing turnovers in pretty crucial situations. Also, you got Drake London finally waking up. I know people have been wondering where the hell he's been all year so far. And Kyle Pitts got his first touchdown, I think, this year.
Second.
So I know second.
Yeah.
So fantasy lovers were enjoying that. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy as a Bucks fan they lost because the Bucks still stay in first place. But yeah, it was a interesting and entertaining game for sure.
All right, moving on to Vikings. Somebody had to win this game. We said it last week. The Vikings take out the Chicago Bears 19-13. The Vikings are 2-4. The Bears are 1-5. Justin Fields injured, but he only had 56 yards. Yeah, he only had 56 yards when he got injured, so it doesn't, it really didn't affect nothing. Kirk Cousins 181 yards, 1 touchdown. DJ Moore 5 catches, 51 yards. I don't have any thoughts on that game. You got any thoughts on that game?
No, just that this is going to get worse for the Bears now that they lose Justin Fields for a couple of games. I heard he's going to be out. So
Caleb Williams on the come.
Yeah,
here he come.
My Lord, man, it's going to be a really sticky situation for a bunch of teams coming this draft, seeing where their draft position is. But yeah, Justin Fields going to be out. I think the guy that was playing for him Sunday was an undrafted quarterback coming out there, and he didn't look like he was prepared at all. So can only imagine what weeks are going to be for the Bears there.
Oh yeah, they blowing it for Caleb Williams.
No more 50-point games for DJ Moore. I'll tell you that.
You're right, but yeah, they definitely blowing it for Caleb Williams. And then it's the right time to do it because Justin Fields hasn't received his second contract yet, so this is the perfect time to do it if you're going to pull that move.
Yeah, if you're going to move on, it's perfect time to do so.
So moving on. Seattle lose to the Bengals 17-13. Both teams are now 3-2. Geno Smith 323 yards, 2 interceptions. I thought Dak Prescott was the only one that threw interceptions. Kenneth Walker 62 yards, 1 touchdown on 19 carries. Lockett with 94 yards. Let's see what Joe Burrow did in this game. Let me pull him up real quick.
Burrow, Chase was quiet.
Joe Burrow was 24-35, 185. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I thought Dak Prescott was the only one that threw interception. Jamar Chase 6 catches, 80 yards. So he didn't get 100, but he did have a pretty solid game. It's crazy that the Bengals won. Nobody's talking about the Bengals won because of this and because of that. And we're gonna get into the Cowboys game. But Joe Burrow throws the ball 35 times, get a pick, 2 touchdowns, and 185 yards. Nobody's saying, the defense is what carried the Bengals to that win. Everybody's saying Joe Burrow is back and Joe is looking good again and yada, yada. But if Dak put up them same numbers, it's, everybody, they just carrying him. He's a bus driver. Like,
I'll say this. I think they're saying that with Burrow, and the narrative with Burrow is because the first couple of games he looked absolutely awful. He didn't look like Joe Burrow of what we saw last year. And he's had 2 back-to-back games where he looked consistent. I don't think he should be getting the credit for the win because obviously the Bengals defense did get that win. They stopped the Seahawks at the end of the game, but yeah, maybe he shouldn't be getting so much of the credit. But I can understand why they're maybe giving him a little bit of some positive feedback towards his direction.
Nope. y'all want to keep that injury in one quarterback? Keep it with all the quarterbacks. I'm gonna stay on that.
All right. Fair enough.
So,
I hear you.
So we go, man. Yeah, because we'll get into the Cowboys game because I was ready to snap on some of them fans. But moving on, the Browns take out the 49ers, no longer undefeated. San Francisco 49ers. The Browns did it without Deshaun Watson, which is crazy. PJ Walker, former XFL great, come in 192 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Ford, no Bradley Chubb, by the way, as well. Ford comes in 17 carries, 84 yards. Amari Cooper, who we traded for a dishwasher, 4 catches, 108 yards. Browns defense stepped up. Brock Purdy only gave you 17 points. Brock was being named the MVP last week and all that. Now he did lose Debo and Christian McCaffrey in the third quarter, I believe, in that game.
Yes.
But if you're so-called great and you're the MVP and all that, you got to be able to get beyond that, especially going up against the Browns without their starting quarterback, without their starting running back. That's all I got to say. Keep that same energy across the board because he still had Brandon Ayuk who's a beast. He still had Kittle, who's a beast. His O-line was still there. Trent Williams and them. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all don't give Dak excuses. Don't give nobody else excuses. That's the type of energy I'm on. Any thoughts about that game?
No excuses, but let's be real.
Nope.
They should have won that game. They should have won that game. They missed
didn't.
the field goal.
They didn't. Oh, well.
41-yarder. They missed it. So,
well.
I agree with you with the Brock Purdy hype. I think he's not as good as everyone wants to crown him as.
System.
Definitely, I think he's a system quarterback as of now. I mean, it's still kind of early to tell. But some of these guys like Orlovsky over on ESPN saying he's a better quarterback than Dak and some others. I don't agree with him on that. I think he's definitely a product of the system as of now. Let's see how he develops throughout the year. They did lose McCaffrey, but to me, yes, McCaffrey is a huge part of that system, and he's one of the main focal points of the offense. But they were still clicking on offense when he even went out of the game. Mason got a touchdown pretty easily when McCaffrey went out. Debo, yeah, that hurts. Hurts losing Debo, but let's give some credit to the Browns with that defense. That defense played lights out. I know the weather conditions kind of play a part as well. I know Purdy had a almost bad fumble when it slipped right out of his hands. He had a pick as well. The weather conditions did play a part in this game, but you got to give props to the Browns. They went out there, stopped them on offense. Walker was decent enough to get them some points there to win the game. Yeah, got to give props to the Browns, but the 49ers should have won that game. They have no one else to blame but themselves on that game right there. But props to the Browns defense. They played tremendous. They played really good.
It's looking like San Francisco played their Super Bowl against the Cowboys last week. Brock Purdy.
I mean, it looked like
Yeah, Brock Purdy, definitely. 12 of 27, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But I thought Dak was the only one that threw picks. Yeah, we're gonna see what's up. I don't believe that San Francisco or Brock is that bad. I do think he's overrated.
No, absolutely not.
But I think Brock can play better than that. He got to. Cleveland is a good defense. People are not talking about how good Cleveland defense is. Cleveland has a good defense this year, so that people need to start talking about that part of it as well. And Cleveland was hyped for this game. If you saw the way they came out, they actually copied the San Francisco 49ers coming out with the boom box and all that stuff, and they was getting into it with them pregame. So Cleveland was fired up for this game.
Scuffle. Yeah, they were.
Moving on. Poor Panthers. I said this last week too. The Dolphins take out the Carolina Panthers 42-21. Carolina's 0-6. Dolphins 5-1. Tua 262 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mostert showing he turning back the clock. 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 163 yards, 1 touchdown. You just can't do nothing with Tyreek Hill. There's nothing that can be done by this man. If you double team him, somebody else is going to be open. Or he's still just going to outrun both of you guys. What do you do with Tyreek Hill?
Hope he gets hurt.
Nah, you can't do that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you better hope he gets hurt or he gets he's sick or gets the flu and he can't play or something, because he seems to be unstoppable at this point. I mean, there was a point in the game where he went out because I think it's like he hurt his hamstring or something, came back in, and then he caught like a 30, 40-yard pass. So this man is just unreal at this point. The Dolphins' offense is crazy, man. When they're clicking, and it's going to be tough to stop them. Carolina, the big question for Carolina is are they going to win a game this year? They don't look good on defense or offense. Only bright spot is Adam Thielen turning back the clock.
Right.
And has been having unreal games so far. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens throughout the season, if maybe Carolina ends up trading him possibly. I feel bad for I don't feel bad for the Panthers. What am I saying? I'm glad they're struggling, but it sucks, man. It's you got Bryce Young looking out there. You just feel bad for him, if anything.
We can't do the injuries because Mike Bassick from 105.3 The Fan is in hot water down here because he was low-key joking and hoping. He was low-key hoping and joking about Dak getting hurt. He wanted Dak to get hurt. He's like, when is Dak going to get hurt so Trey Lance could come play and all that stuff? Like, wow. So he's in hot water down here. So Yeah, that's why I was like, nah, we can't do the injury.
Yeah, why would you hope injury on someone? That's horrible.
So, but don't get me started on that guy at that station. Don't get me started on that. Moving on. Jaguars 4-2, take out the Colts 3-3. Anthony Richardson is out for the year, most likely. I told you he wasn't go last. He wasn't going to last half the season. The way he was playing and the way they was using him. I mean, we saw it from week 1 that the way they was using this guy, it was no way in hell he was going to make it throughout the whole season. And sure enough, week 6, he's pretty much out for the season. He goes out. Jaguars on a nice little winning streak. They are 4-2. Colts are 3-3. Jags win 37-20. Gardner Minshew, man, showing that he can play in the NFL once again. 329 yards, 1 touchdowns, but he did have 3 interceptions. Michael Pittman Jr., 9 catches, 109 yards. Let's see what Trevor Lawrence had in this game, because everybody like to hype him up too. He did all right. 20 of 30, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But I thought Dak was the only one that throws interceptions. Similar numbers to what Dak pretty much did, except no interceptions and 1 less touchdown, I believe, for Dak. But everybody is still saying Dak this, Dak that. Dak can't do this, Dak can't do that. These are similar numbers that Trevor Lawrence put up, but everybody is like Trevor Lawrence is on the comeback as well, just like they did with Joe Burrow. Why you can't keep that same energy with Dak Prescott?
It's because, they expect a lot more from him. That's why.
Why? He's a 4th round draft pick.
Yeah, but he's on the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender. That's why they expect more from Dak than they do from Trevor Lawrence. And, I don't know why the criticism isn't a little bit heavier for Joe Burrow and even Josh Allen.
Oh, it's a couple of them I can name.
Trevor Lawrence, I think, right now is obviously still young. I think his team is not there quite yet. They're a good team, but they're not the caliber of the Cowboys or some of these other teams. But I mean, I understand where you're going with, like, that gets a lot of unnecessary criticism. But I also feel like there is criticism for him that is valid, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We'll get to it when we get to with the Cowboys.
The Saints lose to the Texans. Where Rob at? Tell Rob don't show up no hour late now. Tell him to come on up in here. Texans are now 3-3. They're starting to get it together. They're starting to look good as a young team. 3-3 to take out the Saints. Saints are 3-3. They won 20-13. Derek Carr, 353 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Because Dak is the only one that throws interceptions in the NFL. Chris Olave, 7 receptions, 96 yards. Kamara was 19 carries, only 68 yards. Not a good day running for Kamara, but Texans get the win over the Saints. That's a pretty big win for them.
That's a huge win, yeah. That's a big-time win over a good team, the Saints. Against that pretty tough defense, Stroud's looking good, man. They got something going in Houston. If they just can maybe grab a couple of more parts next season in the draft or free agency, they could be a scary team. They definitely look good out there with Stroud. I think Stroud was the right choice with drafting him, obviously. So Texans got something going. Let's see if they can keep it up. Their division, to me, is kind of wide open. Yeah. You never know. If they beat Jacksonville, it could be a wide open division, seeing how the Colts are going to start struggling, and the Titans, I mean, they don't look good at all. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. They already got a
win over Jacksonville.
That's true. That is correct. So they own the tiebreaker if things get to that point. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Houston. They have a bye week coming up. Their division their schedule isn't not necessarily tough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could take advantage of it.
Yeah. Moving on. The Patriots fall to 1-5 as they lose to Vegas. Vegas is now 3-3. Vegas wins 21-17. Zeke Elliott got his first touchdown as a Patriot. He should have had 2. He had a 75-yard pass that he took up the field, kind of turned it back the clock, but it was holding. So, poor Zeke, man. Get Zeke. Just ask for a trade or buy out his contract. Let that man come back to Dallas for cheap. That's all I'm saying. Jerry Jones, stop being stubborn. Bill Belichick season over. Like, just let that man go. Free Zeke. That's what I'm gonna say. Matt Jones actually played. I can't believe they started him again. 200 yards, 1 interception. Jacobs, 77 yards on 25 carries. Bourne, 10 catches, 89 yards. I don't have any more thoughts outside of Free Zeke on that game. You got anything?
No. Maybe the Patriots be in the sweepstakes for Caleb Williams. You never know. But yeah, I have nothing to say onto that. Yeah, just Patriots look bad, and we might be seeing some changes coming soon for the Patriots,
which is crazy. I can't remember the last time I've said that about the Patriots.
Well, let me let my dog out. Go ahead, talk.
All right.
Darn it.
we got the Rams taking out the Cardinals. The Rams beat the Cardinals 26-9. Rams are 3-3. Cardinals are 1-5. The Rams are the team you don't want to sleep on when you match up against them. Cooper Kupp is back. 7 catches, 148 yards, 1 touchdown. Williams on the ground for LA had 158 yards and 1 touchdown as well. So, yeah, man, the Rams are 3-3. That division is kind of open because the Seahawks, are not dominating that division like I thought they would at this point. Yeah, it's still open for them. Well, you got the 49ers. You got the 49ers.
Yeah, true. I mean, like you said, they're not a team you sleep on.
Yeah.
They got loads of weapons on offense. They do lose Kyren Williams a little bit for a couple of games because I know he got hurt. So, yeah, the Rams, don't sleep on them. They're not going to be the team you see at the end of the year, but definitely do not sleep on this team. They're not going to lay down for nobody. They're going to fight hard. They play hard for McVay, as much as I don't like that coach. They play hard for him. So
what's wrong with McVay, man?
I just don't like him, man. He acts too much like a player than a coach.
No, that's the guy in Philly for me.
Just hooing and hollering and running down the field when they score touchdowns, and it just feels like I just don't like him. I'm not a big fan of him.
Man,
but
supporting this team, man. That's
yeah, this supporting your team, and then there's this acting like a fool at some point. So I just don't like him. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm trying to say something positive about him. I mean, he's a good coach, but just not a big fan of him.
Oh, see, guy don't like ugly right there.
Yeah.
See how you doing? Let's keep it moving. Oh, this is a hilarious game right here. I love it. Eagles lose to the New York Jets. Eagles are 5-1. Jets are 3-2. Jets win 20-14 in New York. It's funny. Let's get to some stats first. 28-45 for Jalen Hurts, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. But I thought Dak was the only one that throw interceptions, right? Zach Wilson, 19-33, 186 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Breece Hall held in check. Dalvin Cook only got 3 carries. Both teams only rushed for 80 and 89 yards, so the rush defense was good on both sides. Richie Vargas said the Jets are 3-3. I know they are 3-3. I don't care. They're 3-3, right? Richie Vargas. But the point is, it was a lot of Eagles fans on my timeline on Twitter. Oh, my bad. We're 3-3. Yeah, so it was a lot of Eagles fans on my Twitter talking about, the Cowboys only beat Bill Belichick, Matt Jones, and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is trash. That's what they were saying just 2 weeks ago. And the Jets ain't nobody, right? Jets ain't nobody. The Jets just beat your team. You couldn't even score more than 14 points on that same Jet defense that we play. Actually, it's not even the same Jet defense because Sauce Gardner didn't play. Reed didn't play. They two top corners didn't play. You still couldn't score more than 14 points on that team. But you want to talk about the Cowboys when we put up 30 on them and we blast them, we whooped them, and all that. Even the Jets head coach made a stupid statement that ESPN agreed with that I saw yesterday. He said, we played Pat Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and et cetera, et cetera. I forgot the other quarterbacks they played, but he was like, on defense, we embarrassed them all. What? Bruh. What? No, you didn't. You didn't embarrass Dak. Dak had his best game of the year against y'all. So what are you talking about? And if I need to get the stats up for that game, I can do that. But I don't even want to go back and look into it. But the point is, you didn't embarrass Dak Prescott. Dak had his best game of the season. Stop playing, bruh. Y'all won against the Eagles. Enjoy that win. Don't start talking stupid, right? Jalen Hurts, 3 interceptions. What's going to be said about Jalen Hurts now? Because I ain't heard ESPN. I ain't seen ESPN say nothing about Jalen Hurts. Everything right now that I've seen so far has been, are you worried about what's the Chargers quarterback? Herbert. Are you worried about Herbert? And who's the best team in the NFC? And then that's it. That's all I've heard. Now they talking about Aaron Rodgers. So when y'all gonna start talking about Jalen Hurts like you talked about Dak last week after his 3 interceptions? Come on, y'all. What you got, Tony?
No, it was just a bad loss, man. Bad loss for the Eagles. I think it was more of the Eagles beat themselves. Especially, third down, whatever it was. They didn't run the ball. They threw it and threw the pick. Jets go down and score right after that. So the Eagles just did not play well. I don't know if they went out there just unmotivated or just thought they could go in there and just beat the Jets easily since they didn't have 2 of their top secondaries out. They just didn't play well. I think it was just a lot of missed. I think the coaching wasn't great near the end of the game, especially when they threw the ball on third down when they could have ran some more clock down to the near the end of the. The thing was, like, the narrative is third down. Jets had no timeouts left. Instead of throwing the ball, he should have just ran the ball, got it down to under a minute, punt the ball. Yes, the Jets would have had a chance to score. All they needed was a field goal to win the game. But going downfield with Zach Wilson, with no timeouts left, that's going to be a bit tough. I just think the management by the Eagles was not great. Hurts did not play well at all. 3 interceptions. He was bad that game. That was one of his bad games for sure. And then whatever offensive plays they ran after that, they let the Jets score, which was smart. They let them score. Right. They still had like over a minute and a half left in the game to get down the field and score to win the game. Third down, they throw a little dump pass, which got them 2 yards. So it's 3rd and 8. So you're thinking, okay, that got them a little bit closer to the first down mark. That's what you're thinking. And then on 4th down, they launch a ball 30 yards down the field in double coverage. I guess they were hoping to get, pass interference called or something, some miracle play to happen. And he drops the ball and the game's over at that point. Just a lot of bad play calling by the Eagles. Got to give props to the Jets defense, down both their best secondary players. They stepped up and played very well. I just think the Eagles, as you would say, shit the bed. They did not play well.
Yeah, definitely did. Jay Cross. Only thing I saw was yesterday where they said Jalen Hurts, they blamed Jalen Hurts for not getting the ball to Devontae Smith more. And that's what I didn't agree with, because I saw a couple of times where Hurts got the ball to Smith and he dropped it. So that's the only thing that I've seen on like First Take and all that, where they say, oh, Jalen Hurts should have got the ball to Devontae Smith more. And then Stephen A. and Shannon, they talked about the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. I didn't see anything saying anything about Jalen Hurts outside of that he should have got the ball to Smith more, even though Smith had, like you said, 3 drops. And I didn't agree with that statement at all when Stephen A. said it. So yeah, so I don't see the ridicule for him. And y'all know I like Jalen Hurts, but I just didn't see that same energy. That's all I'm saying. Keep that same energy with all these QBs. It's not just Dak. Everybody is gonna have off games. Now, don't get me wrong. I've said it plenty of times during the offseason. This is a make it or break it year for me and Dak, because even though Mike McCarthy, I'm not too big on Mike McCarthy as a play caller, you got rid of the so-called, excuse for not winning these past couple of years in Kellen Moore. Now you finally free from that Jason Garrett coaching tree. So no matter if Mike McCarthy is good or bad, Dak Prescott, you ain't got no more excuses. You got the wide receivers. Michael Gallup is on some BS right now, but you got the wide receivers. You supposedly had the running game because Tony Pollard is starting now. You finally got rid of Zeke, right? Let Cowboys fans tell it. But so no excuses. There's no excuses. So
yeah, but that's right, because the Jets have a horrible, they running the ball on them. They're the worst, one of the worst teams in the league. DeAndre Swift, who has been tearing it up lately, the last couple of games, he's been just tearing up on a tear. He only had 10 carries, 18 yards.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Why they didn't run the ball
enough. Yeah. Jalen Hurts had more rushing yards than him.
Yeah,
he had 8 carries. Gainwell 2, and Boston Scott had 2 carries. But DeAndre Swift only getting 10 carries kind of blows my mind, especially since the last couple of games. The Eagles have. That's been like one of the reasons why the Eagles have been winning games.
Right,
is they're running. They've been running the ball so damn well, and they just kind of got away with it for whatever reason. I don't know if they just wanted to try to prove something. I have no clue why they just stopped running the ball, and not giving DeAndre Swift the chance to do anything. It just kind of blows my mind that they didn't utilize DeAndre Swift a little bit more. Maybe there's something that we don't know, because like against the Rams, he had 17 carries. So what was the difference between the Rams and the Jets when the Jets defense, especially their rush defense, is awful compared to the Rams? So it's kind of weird how, I don't know, they saw the 2 cornerbacks out. That's why, probably so.
Yeah,
they probably
but
thought
still,
they could throw the ball all day on them.
Your offense is run based and play action rollouts. That's your offense. That's where you thrive at. You get the running game going first. That brings people in the box. Then you hit them over the top with AJ and Smith. Well, that's everybody that, like, come on, man. That's what the Eagles do. And then you have Jalen Hurts. Every now and then get some scramble yards too. But hey, whatever. That's not my problem. That's the Eagles' problem. I ain't got no issue what's going on over there. Another big story out of that game is Aaron Rodgers is already walking around and throwing the ball. What the heck is he doing? Like, how? Like, at his age,
differently.
At his age,
just made differently, bro. So,
man,
I mean, when you're a millionaire, you get all types of fucking medical care. So at this point, I'm not surprised.
He said he was doing the Kobe Bryant Achilles treatment using that doctor. So whatever Kobe did, that's what Aaron Rodgers did, and it seems to be working, because I mean that man was walking around like nothing happened to him.
But if you're the Jets, do you even risk playing him? Because what happens if he gets hit one time in that leg? I mean, Jesus, like, you lose him again, and it'll go into possibly the next season. Why not just ride out with Zach? And if you do make the playoffs, maybe think about bringing him back. But at this point, is it even risk? If it's even worth the risk of bringing him back, just have him next year.
For the Jets,
healthy Rodgers for next year.
For a franchise like the Jets, it is. That's how they think. So the Jets are desperate for success right now. Speaking of success, the Detroit Lions go 5-1. They take out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-6. I expected this to be a way closer game than what it was.
Same.
Jared Goff, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns. St. Brown, 124 yards and a touchdown. Mike Evans did nothing for me in my fantasy this week. Baker was just overthrowing guys left and right. That was wide open down the field. I was like, okay, Baker, you done went back to the Cleveland Browns Baker Mayfield on this, because you was just missing guys wide open down the field. So, but I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this game, because that's your team, so it's all on you.
I have no excuses for the Bucs. They went out there and laid an egg. They played awful on both sides of the field. It did later come out that Mayfield's dealing with a left-hand injury. So I'm not going to make excuses on some of those overthrows that he had, especially on Mike Evans dropped a couple of passes as well.
He did.
So it wasn't all Baker Mayfield's fault that they lost that game. He threw a bad pick, but it was also tipped at the line. So I'm not going to really give him that much blame. The running game has been silent these last couple of games. I'm not sure what's going on with the running game. The defense was just awful. They couldn't stop anything. The running game they had going, they lose Montgomery, and they didn't drop it all. They just kept doing what they were doing. People need to start worrying about these Detroit Lions, man. Watching them, I know that the defense is probably their weak link, in Detroit, but watching Detroit, they are a good football team. They are good. They're no pretenders. They're just having a great run right now. Mm-hmm. They're a great ball club. They got Goff, who is he doesn't take a lot of risks. It's a lot of 5 to 10, 15-yard passes, but he hits them, man. They got I wouldn't say great, but they got a solid bunch of wide receivers also, and they play hard. That block by Reynolds to free up Brown,
man,
that's just someone playing hard right there. You don't see that very often. That's just a guy that's playing hard for his team, who wants to be there. That was a great-ass block. The Detroit Lions are a scary team, man. They are a scary team. They got the running game. They got the passing game. Their defense is probably the most suspect. If their defense is not playing well, they are vulnerable. But, man, Detroit, they proved the point to me. They are good. Now, that's saying that the Buccaneers were a really good team, and that's a real big win for the Lions. This week against the Ravens is a very proven game to me. If they beat the Ravens, damn, that's a big win for them as well, along with that Chiefs win. So, Bucs played horrible. Running game looks bad. Luckily, we played the Falcons next week, so we'll see how we do against them.
They got a nice little defense too. People sleeping on the Falcons.
They do.
Defense.
I mean, I'm not gonna sleep on them, but at least it's not like the Cowboys or the Eagles we get next week. Seems like when we play those high top tier teams, we just don't know how to play them. We just don't play well. So we'll see what we do against the Falcons. But yeah, the Buccaneers look bad. Baker looked horrible. Mike Evans played like shit. This is an overall bad game for the Bucs. And the Lions look good, man. Lions were really, really good.
The New York Giants got screwed in this game, but they lose to the Buffalo Bills 14-9 Monday night. Nasty game. Bills are 4-2. Giants are 1-5. No Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor came in and he looked way better than what Daniel Jones has been looking this season. Diggs with 10 catches, 100 yards. Josh Allen, 19 of 30, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But I thought Dak was the only one that threw interceptions. Again, another quarterback under 200 yards throwing the ball 30 times. Nobody's saying nothing. But okay. Let that be four.
Not a good game for the Bills, man. I think they went in there again. They're the product of going in there and thinking they just can go in there and show up and they're going to win. I guess they forget that these are football players and they're in the NFL for a reason. Giants played hard. It's debatable. I mean, pass interference and catches are the most questionable things in the NFL. What is a pass? What is a catch? What is a pass interference? So it's like
I don't even like the Giants. That was pass interference.
Yeah, it was a bad no call. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. Like with these no calls, they're not consistent enough for us to argue or complain. It was a bad call, but I mean, the Bills just played awful. They didn't get anything going on either side of the field. Luckily, their defense showed up, and the Giants played hard. Man, they played really, really hard. They wanted to get that win for their coach. They fell short.
Monday night game last night, Cowboys take out the Chargers in a bounce back game, 20-17. I expected to be more points both sides, but Cowboys defense stepped up and Chargers D line stepped up big time. Dak Prescott, 21 of 30, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Justin Herbert, 22 of 37. 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, which ended the game with Stephon Gilmore. Austin Eckler, 14 carries, 27 yards, so defense did a good job on them. Dak Prescott also led the Cowboys in rushing with 40 yards and 1 touchdown. Tony Pollard, 15 carries, 30 yards. CeeDee Lamb with a bounce-back game, 7 catches, 117 yards, versus Keenan Allen, who had 7 catches and 85 yards and 1 touchdown. This was kind of a nasty game too. A lot of the penalties that I did not like. Just Dallas has started like the 2021 Cowboys again, with they beat themselves with flag after flag after flag after flag. Just, do you not know how to line up on the right side of the ball on defense? Like, what is going on with that? But And Curse just steady getting hit with penalties, man. Like, just unnecessary roughness, and I don't really blame him that much for that hit on Herbert, because I mean that's a bang play, but it's just too many penalties, man. I don't like it at all. Dak Prescott. Let's see. The only people that had drops or missed, he was 7-7 for CeeDee Lamb. He was 4-4 for Brandon Cooks, 1-1 for Jake Ferguson. Tony Pollard, he was 6 of 7 throwing to Tony Pollard. That one miss is Dak's fault. He missed him in the end zone, so I'll give you that. That is Dak's fault. Michael Gallup, however, 10 targets, 3 catches.
Bruh.
All the missed passes came to Michael Gallup. I said it last week. Put this man on the trading block. It's time to move on. It's time to move on, honestly, because this is the guy you kept over Amari Cooper. You traded Amari and you re-signed Gallup. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. Especially when he just got injured and you decided to do that. Whatever. I don't get it. I'm still mad about it. Watching Amari versus 49ers pissed me off even more. Dak Prescott, I got on Facebook last night. I said, so does Dak Prescott get credit for this win? Considering that, it was his fourth quarter drive and it was him extending plays on his feet a lot because the O-line was trash that got them the points that they got. Oh, here they come. No, man, Dak didn't do this. One guy even told me, it's the kicker. The kicker should get all the credit. Dak shouldn't get none. What?
Bruh.
How the hell you think the kicker is in position to kick the ball, to kick the field goal at the end of the game? It's because Dak drove 75 yards up the field running and making passes. Again, 21 of 30. All those miss incompletions, and outside of one to Tony Pollard where he completely missed in the end zone, came on drops from Michael Gallup, including one in the end zone where Dak threw it over 3 chargers and it dropped right in Gallup's hands and he missed it. But Dak still don't get no credit. And these are from so-called Cowboys fans. Y'all are trash. Y'all don't know football. Don't talk sports with me. You're just stupid. Just say you hate Dak and move on, because you're an idiot. Everybody else got praised this week. All these other quarterbacks that threw under 200 yards and yada, yada. Dak goes 21 of 30. Use his feet like everybody's been asking him to use his feet. Start running more. He did it. Still no credit.
I mean, he should get credit for the win. Like you said, he did drive them down to get them the lead. You have to get, I think it's kind of like a 50-50 thing, maybe even more 70-30. Dak is one of the reasons why they won, because the running game wasn't there. He finally got Brandon Cooks involved on the offense. Gallup, again, he's just struggling for some whatever reason. CeeDee Lamb had a better game than he did last week. But the defense played very well as well. I mean, they played very good to keep them in the ball game. They got the pick to ice the game as well. So I'm not going to say that Dak shouldn't get any other credit, because that's just dumb. He did have a really good game. One touchdown. What do you think? He had he missed only eight passes, I believe he said, or something around those lines. So he had a really good game.
One touchdown throwing, one touchdown running.
Yeah, he had a good game. Definitely had a really, really good game. He should get some of the credit for that win. I just think Cowboys fans, for the most part, or majority of them, not you, but majority, don't like Dak, man. I just don't think they like Dak. I think they feel like he's overpaid. I feel like they could probably find anyone in that in the NFL to run that offense.
Okay.
I just feel like he's just not liked. I feel like he's one of those guys that has to win a Super Bowl for Cowboy fans to finally actually like the guy. I just don't think people like him. I think they feel like he's just cost them too many playoff wins during his run as a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He's always getting hurt or whatever have you, whatever excuse these Cowboys fans like to use. I feel like he's a product of it, and it's going to keep on happening until they win a Super Bowl. It's just the way it is, I think, at this point. I don't think you or anyone else in the league or as a football fan is going to convince those type of Cowboy fans any different. It is what it is. You know, living here in San Antonio, Cowboys are the majority of sports radio talk. And all I hear from people on the radio and people that call in is Dak is overpaid, he's overrated, and this and that and the other. So
they don't know a damn thing about football.
I like Dak. I would love to have him on on the Buccaneers. Has he cost you guys games? Sure, but a lot of quarterbacks have cost their teams games. He's not the only one in the NFL that does this.
Exactly.
So I do feel like he's gonna be under the radar, under that microscope until they finally win a Super Bowl. It's just gonna be that way.
And it probably won't even be that because there's a couple of groups on Facebook that I just see randomly on the timeline. I'm not even like in these groups, but it's diehard Tony Romo fans. It's just a bunch of Tony Romo fans.
Yeah.
I'm like,
a lot of
bro,
people are butthurt because of the Tony Romo situation too. Yeah,
bro,
absolutely.
let it go. Tony Romo didn't do a damn thing here. Him and Dak right now have the same playoff record, and Dak been here way less than Tony Romo has been here. Tony Romo played what? Well, I can't even remember how long it was. I don't remember. It was a long time. It was 10 years, I believe, that he was here, and yeah, he didn't do nothing. And he had T.O. He had Miles Austin and Dez Bryant, Jason Witten and Marion Barber and all these guys in their prime. He had the Roy Williams and the DeMarcus Wares and Terrence Newmans on defense and all that. I don't want to. Romo didn't do nothing. Let it go, bruh. He lost his job for a reason. With Terrence Williams and all them. Like, let it go, man. I don't want to hear none of that crap. You Cowboys fans that like to talk down on Dak, but don't want to talk down on them. Like one guy on Facebook, just stupid. I don't even know what else to say. Just stupid. So when the 49ers lost, I had a friend post, hey, as a Cowboys fan, should I be mad that the 49ers lost to the Browns without their starting quarterback and running back? Or should I be happy as a Cowboys fan that the 49ers lost? He comes in. This is one guy that blames Dak for everything. Anytime the Cowboys lose, no matter if Dak throws for 300 yards, it's Dak's fault with him. Right? Nobody else's. It's Dak's fault. Even last week, hold on, I don't want to go. I don't want to skip ahead. But it's Dak's fault. Long story short, he gets in there. It's like, hey man, it's just any given Sunday, man. It happens, you know. Everybody got to lose eventually. I saw that, and normally I stop arguing with people on Facebook. I say, nah, F that, bruh. Don't give me that energy now, because that ain't what you said anytime the Cowboys lose. Oh man, but you know it's Dak's fault when the Cowboys lose because Dak did this. I say, oh, so Dak Prescott gave up 42 points on the defense to the 49ers last week. Yeah, but the defense was on the field. You know, the Cowboys was 3-and-out. Okay, the defense was on the field first, and they gave up 75-yard touchdown drive. He had all the excuses in the world, and then last night he had all the excuses in the world to not give Dak credit for that win last night. Just idiots. Bruh. But I don't want to hold you long, so let's get into these power rankings, because I can go on a full rant and I'll be here all day. So let's get into these power rankings. All right.
takes a lot out of you when talk about the Cowboys and talk about your favorite team.
I'm gonna get mad, bro, because I don't like idiots. Like,
it's the same way like with the Bucks, you know, they're winning and everyone loves the team, and then they're hating and then they lose. Oh, fire Todd Bowles, this, that, and the other. It's just overreaction after a loss. So it is what it is at this point.
And like, I understand. Like again, if Dak sucks, like last week, I clowned Dak. Dak was trash. I clowned him. Just be even across the board. I don't understand why can't nobody do that. Like, I don't get it with him. But these are last week power rankings: Lions, Dolphins, Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers for Tony. Chiefs, Dolphins, Lions, Eagles, 49ers for me. Let's go ahead and erase these and see if anything changed. You want to go first or you want me to go?
You go first. I went first last week. So it's your turn.
Okay. All right, let me... I'm kind of struggling this week, actually. I ain't gonna lie to you. Number 5. I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Number 5, okay.
Number 5, I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Number 4. If they played on a neutral field, right? Who do I have confidence in? I'll take the Eagles just based off of this past week. I'll put Eagles at 4. Number 3, I got Detroit. Number 2, did I space that out? Number 2, I got the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they lost, right now I still got the 49ers at number 1. I still think when healthy, they are the best team in the NFL. Absolutely. So, yeah, Chiefs 5, Eagles drop to 4. Lions move up to 3. Dolphins back in the 2 spot in the top 2. And 49ers number 1. So, yeah.
I still pretty much have the same top 5. I think I had the Dolphins out maybe last week, but they will be back in. So number 5, I'm gonna go Chiefs. To me, the Chiefs haven't proven nothing to me yet. They haven't beaten that team that be like, okay, they are
back
that team. I'm still gonna go the Chiefs at number 5. They do have a pretty solid defense though.
Yeah,
I'll give them that. But still gonna go Chiefs at number 5. Man, this one's tough. I think I'm going to go Eagles 4 just because of the bad loss. And they haven't looked great all year, in my opinion. They're still trying to figure out things on the offense and defensive side with the new coordinators. But I still think they'll be there at the end of the year. I still think they'll be one of the 2 teams in the conference championship. But as of now, I'm going to put the Eagles at number 4. The Lions stay at number 3 for me. Lions right now will still be at number 3. I almost put them at number 2. It was very, very close because they seem like to be the most consistent team between the Dolphins and the Lions. But I'm going to go Lions at number 3. They're going to stay at number 3 right now. Beat the Ravens. Shit, they may be number 1 next week. Who knows?
It's not happening. Not happening.
Right now, I have the Lions at number 3. Number 2 is going to go the Dolphins. I have the same top 5 as you, man. Dolphins at number 2. As of now, they look pretty good. They may be your Super Bowl team coming in the AFC side. They got a couple of weeks. I mean, they got a huge game this weekend against the Eagles, and then following that, they played the Chiefs. So those are 2 back-to-back big-time games for the Dolphins. That could be a huge proving point right there. They beat those teams. Who knows where they'll be at next week for 2 weeks from now on the top 5 list. And then number 1, again, 49ers. Bad loss against the Browns. Again, a loss, but they should have won if their field goal kicker could have made a field goal at the end of the game. So these 49ers easily could still be undefeated right now. So I'm going to go Niners 1, Dolphins 2, Lions 3, close to being that 2 spot though. Eagles 4, who dropped down on my list, and the Chiefs at number 5.
There it is. Let's get into before we go. Let's get into Week 7 predictions. We probably won't have time to get into college today, so
we'll just say this: college, huge game next weekend. Ohio State and Penn State.
Yep.
Colorado's kind of coming back Penn down State to earth. You know, I'm gonna go Ohio State.
Penn State is going to win. Notre Dame got a big victory over Caleb Williams and USC.
Who looked horrible, man.
Florida State is still undefeated. They got an undefeated Duke team this weekend, so that's going to be a big game for both of them. And just the rankings real quick, just so y'all can do that. Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, Florida State 4, and Washington, after beating Oregon, is now number 5. So that's the updates in college football right there.
Crazy. Washington, number 5. Pretty wild to see.
Yeah, so Washington's on the come up. I told y'all Washington was going to win. I think that was Rob that said Oregon was going to dominate Washington. I was like, okay. But let's get into Week 7 predictions starting Thursday night. This is going to be another ugly game. Jaguars at New Orleans.
I can never pick New Orleans right now, so I'm gonna go Jags. Jags beat the New Orleans Saints. Should be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game though.
New Orleans favored by 3. I'm gonna take the Saints at home. Raiders at Chicago. Vegas is favored by 3.
God damn.
Just cancel the game.
I'm gonna go Vegas. No Justin Fields. Yeah, I'm gonna go Las Vegas.
I'm gonna take Vegas as well. Oh well, it used to be a big game. Buffalo at New England.
Buffalo.
Boy, if the Bills lose this game, I'm gonna have a field day on Josh Allen next week. So Buffalo better win this game. I got Buffalo as well. Washington at the New York Giants.
I don't know if Daniel Jones is playing or not.
It don't matter.
So
it'll be better off if they don't.
I'm gonna go Washington.
Daniel Jones make the same amount of money as Dak Prescott, by the way. Bruh. For you Cowboys fans that want to sit there and complain about money. And Russell Wilson makes more than Dak as well. Bruh. And Justin Herbert makes more than Dak as well. Bruh. But just, hey, whatever. I'm going to take Washington, too. I got a mixed feeling about that game, but I'm going to take Washington, too. Falcons at your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oof. I want to go Bucks, but I'm going to bet up against them. I'm going to say Falcons win.
I'm struggling with this one. Because I don't know what Baker's going to do. So,
yeah.
Both of them got good defense. Man. I need Mike Evans to have a good game, but I'm going to take the Falcons as well. Barely taking the Falcons. I'm struggling with them, but I'm going to take the Falcons. Detroit at the Ravens. Flock at home.
That should be a hell of a game. I'm going to go Detroit,
That's a
dude.
noon game. Wow.
I'm going Detroit.
I can't believe they didn't flex that. 5-1 Detroit, 4-2 Ravens in Baltimore, and they did not flex that game. It's at noon. That's crazy.
Yeah, because seeing the games that are after those, I'm surprised they didn't flex it. We got Steelers, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Packers, Broncos. Well, we do get the Chargers versus Kansas City.
Yeah,
so maybe that's why.
I'm gonna be a homer here. I like Detroit, but I'm gonna take the Ravens. The Ravens need a big win like this on their resume this year, so I'm gonna take the Ravens at home. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose though. Steelers at the Rams. This gonna be a good game right here.
Steelers, Rams. Man, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Upset. Pittsburgh beats the Rams. Is it an upset? I mean, I guess it's.
I mean, 3-2 versus 3-3. I mean,
okay. All right, not an upset, but I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I'll go Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna take the Rams at home. Cardinals at the Seahawks.
Man, I want to go Seattle, but here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Upset alert. Arizona beats Seattle.
Well, there you go. I'm taking Seattle in that. Seattle better not lose to Arizona at home. Green Bay versus the Broncos.
Green Bay.
Yeah. Even though Jordan Love is the same as Green Bay. Chargers at the Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chargers.
2-3 in Kansas City. That'd be nice if the Chargers win. It'll make the Cowboys' victory look better. I'm sticking with the Chiefs. At home, I'll stick with the Chiefs. If they was in LA, maybe the Chargers, but the Chiefs, I'll give it to them. Dolphins at Philly.
Ooh,
Sunday night game in Philly.
This is gonna be a must-watch game right here. I'm gonna go Philly.
It's something about the Eagles on Sunday night games where they just light up the stadium with green and the crowd go crazy. It's like it brings a different energy out of them. But I don't know if Slade is going to play. And even if he did play, nobody can stop Tyreek Hill. But at the same time, the Dolphins defense is a little suspect as well. So I expect both teams to go up and down the field. It's just which quarterback do I trust more with their wide receivers right now and offensive coordinator, and I'm gonna trust the Dolphins. Tua, show them why Jalen Hurts got benched for you in college.
Right.
This is your chance to show him, because Jalen Hurts has been doing his thing in the NFL, and let's see. I'm gonna take the Dolphins because of the Tyreek Hill factor, and the secondary of the Eagles hasn't been looking too great. 49ers at the Vikings. I got the 49ers.
Niners. Yeah. They'll bounce back from that loss. I think this one won't even be close, man.
All right, so that's it for Week 7 predictions. That's the show for today. Much love to y'all for coming through. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but my nose just got like super stopped up. I'm over here struggling right now, bro. Golly. Like it's like somebody is sitting on my nose right now. So I'm glad we're done, because I'm over here struggling, man. Jeez. Anything you want to promote before we get off?
Nah, y'all know we'll be live tomorrow, so come hang out. Always appreciate you having me on here, talking sports. It's always fun. We're looking forward to next week, see what's going on in the NFL, and the NBA is starting up soon, so it's gonna be fun.
Wow, there it is. Make sure you check out Get the Tables on Twitch and Twitter if you're not following them already, especially if you love wrestling. Make sure to check them out. Dope wrestling community. They do dope streams over there. They did a watch along Sunday with Detroit versus Tampa Bay. So
not fun.
Yeah, so there you go on that. So check them out. Diamond Dave, Hall of Fame, All Elite Diamond Dave, whatever name he's going by now. Dopecontent.com. You already know what it is. I will be releasing the photos that I took at Pro Wrestling Revolver this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get them up there pretty soon. So again, my boys had a blast. I'm back in the Dope Studios, baby. Y'all see it. We back in there. Yeah. We back in here, so there's no more guest bed behind me. So, and me bumping up against the bed while I'm trying to talk and move. So we're back in here. It cooled off enough. Texas summer is trying to fight a little bit and trying to make a little comeback this week with the 90-degree weather, but that ain't gonna. I got AC that can hold 90-degree weather. It's the hundreds and up that I couldn't do. So until next time, yeah, man. Texas summer needs to just stay away. But until next time, man, y'all be safe. Much love to y'all. Catch y'all during the week if I stream. If not, oh well. Catch Get the Tables, because they will be streaming. So and yeah, y'all be safe. We'll be back next week, man. Same dope channels, same dope
Feel
time.
better, brother.
Have a good one, man. We out.
Later, bro.
Let's go. Yeah.